New Zealand appears peaceful on the surface, but hidden beneath its beauty lies a world of bizarre and inexplicable phenomena. An uncanny valley where electronics suddenly die, caves full of creatures that shine like stars, and ancient legends about beings that still roam its forests. These aren't stories you'll hear in a tour guide. They're the strangest, most shocking facts about New Zealand, and they'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Number 12. The edge of the world territory. Picture this. You're standing on a piece of land that's basically floating alone in the middle of nowhere, over 1,200 miles from the nearest neighbor. That's New Zealand for you, the ultimate remote paradise that makes Australia look like next door. This isn't just any country, it's 2 massive islands plus 700 smaller chunks of land scattered across 104,000 square miles of the southwestern Pacific. The whole place is slightly bigger than Colorado, but here's the kicker. Only 5.2 million people call it home. That's fewer residents than New York City crammed into its 5 boroughs. But wait, there's more. New Zealand hosts 29 million sheep, which means every single person technically owns 6 woolly companions. The population mix reads like a cultural recipe book. European descendants, indigenous Maori, Pacific Islanders, and a growing Asian community all blending together. English and Te Reo Maori serve as official languages, with the latter making a comeback after nearly disappearing from daily use. The landscape shifts from snow-covered mountains and glacier-fed lakes to tropical rainforests and untouched beaches within the same day's drive. Winter hits between June and August, flipping everything upside down compared to the Northern Hemisphere. You can literally ski fresh powder in the morning and catch waves for an afternoon surf session without breaking a sweat about travel time.
Number 11. The Waitomo Glowworm Cave. Deep beneath New Zealand's surface lies a natural phenomenon that puts planetariums to shame. The Waitomo glowworm caves house millions of Arachnocampa luminosa, a glowworm species found nowhere else on Earth. These tiny creatures create an underground constellation that rivals any night sky you've ever witnessed. The limestone formations date back over 30 million years, predating dinosaur extinction and creating cathedral-like chambers carved by ancient water systems. The glowworms spin silk threads and emit blue-green light to attract prey, turning cave ceilings into living chandeliers. Tours operate in complete darkness. No flashlights, no conversation, just the gentle sound of underground streams and thousands of tiny stars overhead. Visitors drift through the caverns on silent boats, feeling like astronauts floating through space. The experience transcends typical tourist attractions because it combines geological history, biological wonder, and spiritual connection in one underground journey. Maori people discovered these caves centuries ago and consider them sacred spaces where earth spirits reside. Since 1889, over 1 million visitors annually make pilgrimages to witness this natural light show that filmmakers claim surpasses computer-generated effects. The complete sensory deprivation combined with biological illumination creates memories that stick with travelers long after they return to surface daylight.
I have a question for you. First, I would like to say that it is possible to follow the greatest curiosities of our world every day. But to do so, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, are you already subscribed? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Also, take the opportunity to like the video so YouTube will recommend more videos from our channel. So leave your like right now. And now that you have done that, let's go!
Number 10. The Hongi Connection. Drop everything you know about handshakes and get ready for something that'll blow your mind. In New Zealand, respect comes through touching noses. Literally. The Maori people, who make up 16% of the population, practice a greeting ritual called hangi, where 2 people press noses together to exchange the breath of life. This isn't just some tourist show for cameras. When locals perform hangi with strangers, they're basically saying welcome to the family in the most intimate way possible. But here's where things get really interesting. Maori women can pop the question to men during traditional ceremonies. She'll craft a special bracelet or token with her own hands and present it as a marriage proposal. Talk about flipping gender roles upside down. Most Maori families live in rural spots like Rotorua, building wooden houses where 3 generations pile in together and cook meals using hangi, that underground steam method their ancestors perfected centuries ago. Life revolves around nature's rhythm. They soak in hot springs after dinner, share ancestor stories around fires, and believe every bird chirp or wind gust carries messages from the spirit world. Before big events, you'll witness the haka, that intense Maori war dance that sends chills down your spine and announces this culture runs deeper than most people realize. The whole experience makes typical Western greetings feel pretty shallow by comparison.
Number 9. The Kiwi Bird Legacy. New Zealand's national symbol isn't a soaring eagle or fierce lion. It's a small, flightless, nocturnal bird that perfectly represents the country's quirky character. The kiwi bird embodies everything uniquely New Zealand. It's shy, unusual, and absolutely authentic. These remarkable creatures possess the strongest sense of smell of any bird species, using their long, curved beaks like underground detectives to locate food. Kiwi eggs represent one of nature's most extreme examples. They measure about 25% of the mother's total body weight, making them proportionally the largest eggs in the animal kingdom. Roads throughout New Zealand feature kiwi crossing signs, giving right of way to these timid birds that prefer darkness and solitude. The species demonstrates remarkable loyalty, mating for life, and sharing parenting duties in quiet partnership that mirrors Kiwi cultural values. New Zealanders embrace the Kiwi comparison so completely that they call themselves Kiwis with genuine pride, rather than seeing it as a limitation. Conservation efforts protect these vulnerable birds in specialized reserves like Zealandia and Rotorua wildlife parks, where visitors must speak softly and move slowly to avoid startling the naturally nervous creatures. The kiwi represents authenticity over flashiness, substance over appearance, and quiet strength over loud displays, values that resonate throughout New Zealand society and explain why this flightless bird captures the national spirit more effectively than any traditionally majestic symbol could achieve.
Number 8. Franz Josef Glacier Helicopter Landing. Most glaciers require weeks of mountaineering just to glimpse from a distance. But Franz Josef Glacier lets you land directly on ancient ice and walk around like you own the place. Helicopter tours lift visitors from sea-level rainforest to 8,000-foot glacier surfaces in less than 15 minutes, creating altitude changes that mess with your ears and blow your mind simultaneously. The glacier descends from the southern Alps down to just 1,000 feet above sea level, making it one of the few glaciers worldwide that approaches temperate rainforest conditions. What makes this experience genuinely surreal is stepping from helicopter skids onto ice that fell as snow during medieval times, then walking through crevasses and ice caves that formed centuries before your great-grandfather was born. Guided walks include ice axe training, crampon fitting, and navigation through constantly changing terrain where new cracks appear daily and ice formations reshape overnight. The glacier moves about 2 feet per day, meaning the exact location you walk today won't exist next week because everything shifts continuously downhill toward the Tasman Sea. Weather windows determine flight schedules, and conditions change so rapidly that morning departures might return to afternoon snowstorms that ground all aircraft until the next clear day. Professional guides read ice conditions like meteorologists read weather patterns, identifying safe routes through terrain that kills unprepared visitors who attempt solo exploration. The entire experience lasts about 3 hours, but provides lifetime memories of walking on Earth's climate history while surrounded by peaks that inspired the Lord of the Rings film locations.
Number 7. Sheep walking adventures. Forget dog walking, New Zealand lets you stroll around with 110-pound sheep like they're oversized pets. This sounds completely ridiculous until you try it and realize thousands of international tourists line up for this experience every year. In regions like Waikato, Otago, and Queenstown, farms rent out individual sheep for countryside walks through meadows that look ripped straight from movie sets. These aren't random farm animals either. The sheep know their names, respond to specific whistles, and some even pose for selfies or sit next to visitors during rest breaks. With 25 million sheep spread across a population of 5.2 million people, every New Zealander technically owns 5 woolly companions by numbers alone. Farmers turn this statistical quirk into tourist gold by teaching visitors the secret language of sheep herding. Each farmer develops a unique whistle pattern. Blow the right combination, and sheep return like trained dogs responding to their names. The country even held national sheep whistling competitions, and the government once appointed an official sheep conductor to celebrate these animals' cultural importance. Visitors learn to groom wool, call sheep by individual names, and understand pasture communication that only locals master. The whole experience starts as a joke, but transforms into genuine appreciation for the relationship between New Zealanders and their four-legged neighbors.
Number 6. Shot over jet. Here's something that'll make your heart skip beats faster than a first date. New Zealand invented jet boating, and the shot over jet in Queenstown delivers the most insane water ride on the planet. This isn't your typical cruise ship experience where you sip cocktails and wave at dolphins. We're talking about boats that rocket through narrow canyon walls at 50 miles per hour, spinning 360 degrees in spaces so tight you can literally touch rock faces with your fingertips. The Shotover River cuts through red canyon walls that rise 300 feet on both sides, creating natural corridors barely wider than the boat itself. Drivers thread these machines through gaps that seem physically impossible, stopping just inches from solid rock before executing trademark spins that send water spraying 30 feet into the air. What makes this genuinely terrifying is the canyon depth. Some sections drop 200 feet straight down, and the water runs crystal clear enough to see every rock on the bottom. The whole experience lasts 25 minutes of pure adrenaline, where physics seems optional and common sense takes a vacation. Shotover jet boats use Hamilton jet propulsion systems, invented right here in New Zealand, making them the only watercraft capable of operating in shallow, rocky rivers that would destroy traditional propeller boats. Over 3 million people have survived this ride since 1970, though many passengers need several minutes afterward just to remember how breathing works normally again.
Number 5. The world's steepest challenge. Baldwin Street in Dunedin earned international fame for being so impossibly steep that basic physics seems to break down. With a 38% gradient, every 9 feet of horizontal distance includes nearly 3 feet of vertical climb, creating a slope that challenges both vehicles and pedestrians. Cars must park sideways instead of parallel to prevent rolling backward, and residents need industrial-strength handbrakes to feel secure about their parking choices. The street held the Guinness World Record for steepest residential street until 2019, when a Welsh location briefly claimed the title. However, after Guinness recalculated and omitted measurement errors, Baldwin Street reclaimed its crown in 2020, sparking local celebrations that included printing the street's image on t-shirts, coffee mugs, keychains, and pet collars. Locals treat the daily climb as built-in morning exercise, developing calf muscles that could rival professional athletes. Houses appear tilted from outside perspectives, but maintain level interiors thanks to engineering that works with rather than against the natural slope. Annual races to the summit attract thousands of participants who compete for special medals recognizing their vertical achievement. Winter transforms the street into a natural ski slope, though official sledding remains discouraged for safety reasons. The community once attempted creating the world's steepest cake, but gravity proved stronger than frosting, causing decorations to slide to the bottom before anyone could capture photos of the completed dessert.
Number 4. Cardrona Bra Fence. Picture this, you're driving through peaceful countryside when suddenly hundreds of bras appear hanging on a fence like some bizarre laundry line that escaped from a parallel universe. The Cardrona Bra Fence started as a joke in 1999 when 4 women attached their bras to a roadside fence after a night of heavy drinking. What began as drunken humor evolved into an international phenomenon where women from every continent contribute undergarments that now number in the thousands. The fence stretches along State Highway 6 between Wanaka and Queenstown, creating a colorful display that stops traffic and confuses GPS navigation systems that can't adequately describe this landmark. Bras arrive with notes, stories, and messages from breast cancer survivors, new mothers, teenagers celebrating graduation, and women marking major life transitions. Some donations include elaborate decorations, others carry political messages, and a few feature artwork that transforms functional underwear into artistic statements. Local authorities tried removing the fence multiple times, calling it a traffic hazard and eyesore, But public outcry from tourists and locals forced officials to recognize it as legitimate folk art. The fence generates over $100,000 annually in tourism revenue for the Cardrona Valley, proving that weirdness translates directly into economic benefits. Visitors travel specifically to add their own contributions, take photos that become conversation starters for years, and experience the liberating feeling of participating in collective absurdity that somehow makes perfect sense in New Zealand's anything-goes cultural landscape.
Number 3. Women who lead the way. Traditional dating rules get flipped completely upside down in New Zealand, where women make the first move and nobody bats an eye. This cultural shift didn't happen overnight. New Zealand women earned the right to vote in 1893, making them the first in the world to break that political barrier. Today, they continue ranking at the top globally for gender equality and personal freedom. From Wellington to Queenstown, you'll encounter women in sweatpants and hoodies driving massive trucks, surfing solo at sunrise, and leading yoga sessions around campfires after dark. Natural beauty takes precedence over makeup tutorials and Instagram filters. Curly hair gets tousled by ocean winds, sun-kissed skin glows without foundation, and confidence comes from outdoor adventures rather than cosmetic counters. Wellington women particularly embrace dating leadership, striking up conversations with foreigners in cafes, sharing hiking recommendations, and greeting strangers with genuine "g'day mate" enthusiasm. Farm ownership, business management from hillside tiny homes, and minimalist living represent the standard lifestyle rather than unusual choices. The dating scene welcomes international romance, especially for men who appreciate authenticity over artifice and value simple, free-spirited partnerships. This cultural approach creates genuine connections based on shared experiences rather than superficial attractions, making New Zealand a refreshing change from traditional courtship expectations worldwide.
Number 2. Ancient spa traditions. Rotorua transforms the concept of relaxation into something that feels more like time travel than tourism. Known as New Zealand's hot springs capital, this region offers cedar tub experiences surrounded by native forests where volcanic activity heats underground water systems naturally. The Maori people developed bathing rituals here that connect physical relaxation with spiritual cleansing, believing hot springs wash away fatigue while preparing souls for major life transitions. Hell's Gate Spa delivers the full traditional experience. Visitors coat themselves in mineral-rich mud before soaking in wooden tubs overlooking active volcanic landscapes. The mud contains sulfur, silica, and other minerals that supposedly heal skin conditions and joint pain, while the heat penetrates muscles more effectively than any modern massage. Some locations serve hangi food, meals cooked using geothermal steam exactly like Maori ancestors prepared them centuries ago. Onsen hot pools in Queenstown elevates the experience by positioning cedar tubs among snow-capped mountains, creating surreal contrast between hot water and alpine scenery. The Remarkables mountain range provides a dramatic backdrop that makes soakers feel like characters in an epic fantasy film. Couples frequently choose these hot springs for marriage proposals and anniversary celebrations, exchanging vows under star-filled skies while soaking in naturally heated mineral water. At $30 to $60 per visit, these experiences offer spiritual connection and physical rejuvenation that five-star hotels simply cannot replicate through artificial amenities.
Number 1. The Republic of Wangmamona. Tucked away in the Stratford district, Wangmamona operates as New Zealand's only self-declared republic, complete with its own president, passports, and national holiday. This tiny town of 40 residents declared independence in 1989 as a protest against regional boundary changes, and somehow the joke became reality. The government building doubles as a century-old Victorian pub where visitors can apply for Republic passports while enjoying cold beer and local hospitality. These documents cost just a few dollars and are completely legal within town limits, making them popular souvenirs for tourists seeking unique travel stamps. The world's smallest gas station operates on pure trust. One pump, no attendant, and customers fill up before paying inside the pub. Houses feature handcrafted wooden construction with dark metal roofs, front porches, and backyards that might contain goat pens or vintage car collections. No police patrol the streets, no security cameras monitor activity, and traffic lights don't exist because they're unnecessary in a place where crime statistics remain at zero for decades.
Presidential elections occur every 2 years, and candidates have included humans, dogs, and goats, with campaign platforms focusing on beer quality and sheep management, rather than international policy. Everyone earns unique nicknames like Dave the Goat Whisperer or Nina the Flag Queen, creating a community identity that feels more like extended family than municipal government.
Still curious? Then don't stop now. The next mystery is already waiting for you. Just click the video on screen. I saved it just for you. See you there, curious one.